That's right, Dick. Turbine 4, or T4 as the Bud team calls it, is a brand new boat being raced here today for the first time. Now when we show you the boat on the water, it's going to look very much like previous Miss Budweisers, but it's not. It is a radical new multi-wing design. In a conventional hydroplane, the deck and the bottom run from the front of the ram wing clear back to the transom. Here, an entirely different kind of lift is employed. An actual airplane wing does the lifting, and there's a big space here for extra air to escape, hopefully before it flips the boat over. The new design has had some success. Steve David's T-Plus engine treatment is very similar, and he has won 3 times in the last 3 years. Now, for the first time, Mark Evans has put a multi-wing boat at the top of our qualifying ladder.
3 boats with the Smokin' Joes on the inside. In the middle is the Miss Budweiser, and on the outside, running very hard, the Miss Bustler Enterprises.
There's the green flag, and we've got a start. It is going to be Mark Evans replacing Chip Hanauer in the seat of the Miss Budweiser in the lead. Now, as they come out, Smokin' Joe's trying to come up on the inside. Mark Tate has got himself a tiger by the tail, and he is willing to take the fight.
And Dick, let's not forget, he is the defending national high point champion driver from last year, and if he maintains good position this race, he could take the lead for the driver championship away from Chip Hanauer, who is back in Seattle with injuries.
The Budweiser leads into the turn. Now, he doesn't have enough room on the Smokin' Joe's to cut to the inside of the course. He must have 5 boat lengths, and that costs him. On the inside, Smokin' Joe's takes back the lead. This looks like it's going to be a race of which boat can accelerate the fastest out of the turn. Right now, it is the Miss Budweiser. She regains the lead at the end of lap 1.
And right now, Dick, it's Mark Evans with just 2 more laps to go. All preliminary heats are 3 laps. The finale here today will be 5. Second place is the Smokin' Joe's. Third is the Miss Bustler Enterprises. As we look at that fight off of corner number 2, a little airborne for both boats there. There's your average speed for the Miss Budweiser at 146.
And it looks like there is a problem on the course right now. It looks like the wing has broken on the Miss Budweiser. You know what happens, Jim? That corner number 2 will be consistently rough all day long, and that wing structure that Steve talked about at the very beginning of the show causes some of the water to come up against that wing. That's a problem that the T-Plus had earlier, and they worked very hard to get it solved. They finally did. But you can see the water has pounded that wing, the horizontal stabilizer, loose on the Miss Budweiser. I don't know how that's going to affect the ride of this boat. This is really the first time in competition as the commissioner looks on.
Yeah, Bill Donor a little concerned, but right now with less than a lap to go, it's a comfortable lead for the Miss Budweiser. Second place to the Smokin' Joe's with Mark Tate, and Jerry Hopp is in 3rd place in the Miss Bustler as down the back chute our leader goes for the final time.
And it looks like Mark Tate may have decided to just settle for the points in 2nd place. After all, the real shootout is the championship race later today. He sees the destruction on the Miss Budweiser. He knows Mark Tate is going to keep that boat out in front as he possibly can. There's no sense at this point risking more damage to any more equipment. You can see it is whole for the Smokin' Joe's. They like it that way. They'll race again. Here's the finish coming down, broken tail and all. Checkered flag going out to Mark Evans. This is the first time this boat has been in competition. The first win for Mark Evans in this boat, only his 2nd race for the Budweiser team. A great win for Bernie Little, the owner. Whoa, there goes the tail.
But he broke the boat again.
Well, oh, God, he really did. I saw the wing come off, but I didn't see the upright come off. But it ran pretty good without it, didn't it?
Change when the wing broke?
It started to, but it could have been more psychological than anything, but I just kept an eye on it and kept on the flaps and brought her in 1st place.
Maiden voyage went well then.
It really did. I'm proud of the crew for being able to do that. Quite a design of a boat, I'll tell you.
A lot of damage and a lot more racing coming your way. Stay with us on ESPN's Speed World. And we notice there is a new wing on the Miss Budweiser as she gets ready to race in Heat 2B. We'll be back to Madison in a moment. Finally getting a very, very good run. You know, we should comment, this is the first time in competition for this boat because the other boat they had been running came apart in Evansville last week. So it would be a real pleasure for Mark Evans to be able to finish in a boat that's whole. And at this point, it looks like that's what he's going to do. Mark Evans bringing the Miss Budweiser home with a checkered flag. Jimmy King, the rookie driver. Here you see Mark Evans as he finishes and he's got to be relaxing a little bit now, happy to have the boat. Oh, we were just about to say the boat in one piece. There goes the tail again. The Miss Budweiser crew will have yet another wing that they will want to repair on this boat before it goes back out. Meanwhile, they are not going to be able to repair the wing on the Miss Budweiser, and they have no more wings, so she will go wingless, but she's got some company.
You want to go racing, don't you?
Want to go racing.
And we're going racing as the inside is Miss Buster Enterprises with Jerry Hopp, the Miss Budweiser with Mark Evans in lane 3. Lane 4, Holset Turbo with Mitch Evans, and on the outside, the Wellness Plan with Jimmy King.
And let's point out one more time, they are not putting a boat in lane 1 until they go around the first turn. And the reason for that is because of that rough water down there, as sharp as that turn is. So we start with lane 2 and work outside. And right now, it is lane 3 that is leading. And that's the Miss Budweiser. Mark Evans riding without the horizontal stabilizer, as is his old boat, the Wellness Plan with Jimmy King. No horizontal stabilizer there. This is kind of a wingless race.
Lap number 1 of 3 here in the final preliminary heat as we wend our way toward the finals. We're looking at the leader, Mark Evans. He chose lane 3, and he's now out in front.
Mark Evans averaging on our Zodiac Sports watches at 136 miles per hour. Tries to skid it around. Mitch Evans tries to catch him up again. We talked before about the lane choice for the Miss Budweiser, going with lane number 3, and I'm wondering if he watched Mark Tate in the Smokin' Joes. I'm sure he did in the last heat. Mark was in lane 3, and he took the win over the Picos out of that lane. So
they're up to shoot, and coming down for the last time down the back chute, the leader, Miss Budweiser.
Look, there's your leader. No contest at all this time for the Miss Budweiser. Of course, they're probably happy with it, riding without wings and such. And now it looks like the other vertical stabilizer is gone. The vertical wing on the left-hand side as the driver sits in the boat is now loose on the back of the Miss Budweiser. She takes the checkered flag. It may be bits and pieces, but she's winning. And at this point, that's
down to the docks.
You guys realize on the scorecard you've had a perfect day. The crew might not agree.
Yeah, I know. If that's a perfect day, that was a heck of a lot of work for that. But, man, the guys did a fantastic job putting the parts back on, and it ran without that rear stabilizer pretty decent. So I think we're going to be all right for the final.
Bernie, I'm afraid to say congratulations until we get a damage report.
Well, the damage is pretty bad, as you can see. We'll be in there, and we're going to win. So what else is there?
Well, they got winged again, or is that de-winged? We'll be back and find out in a moment. Before Dallas. Here's the start of the race. There's the green flag, and they're off. Miss Budweiser seemed to get a nose right on the start line as the flag flew. There's the Smokin' Joe's team trying to add a little extra horsepower by yelling from the shore. The yellow boat is the Smokin' Joe's. The red boat is the Miss Budweiser. They are side by side into the first turn.
Looks like the Budweiser in some rough water. I think the Bud is hooked. The Bud is hooked, and he's gone to the inside.
He almost had a problem with the Miss Bustler coming up. Jerry Hopp had lane number 2 on the start. Mark Tate out in the lead, and Mark Evans is trying to get the Miss Budweiser started again. But
second consecutive victory.
Looks like Mark Evans has started to get some fire to the Miss Budweiser. Meanwhile, look at Smokin' Joe's takes that big wide arc around the Miss Budweiser. If there was any doubt in his mind, he now knows that that boat was dead in the water, and he's got it up. And Jaspers, it looked like Jaspers came up and hit in. He apparently spun out. Jaspers came up on the inside as the Miss Budweiser started to get power. I don't know what happened down there, but it looked like the two boats might have hit together, and it spun out to Jaspers.
With about a lap and a half to go, here comes the Budweiser, the black flag. He has returned to the pits as ordered.
Well, it's a disappointing finish, I'm sure, for the entire Budweiser crew. It was